Guys, welcome back. So in today's video, I'm going to look at offer and positioning and how to make your cold email impossible to ignore. So what makes a cold email offer impossible to ignore? So majority of cold emails that we look at, we review, we help our clients with, they talk about what they do, and the ones that will actually get a lot of positive replies and a lot of interest talk about what the prospect receives. So what is the outcome they would get from working with you? So as you can see here in point one, lead with the outcome. So what is the specific result does your prospect get? So not your process, not the inputs, what is the outcome? Start with that. Second, make it relevant to their world right now. So if it's generic, if it feels like it could be sent to anyone, it will get ignored. So you want a specific offer that references something that's happening in the industry, their role or their business right now, they'll get read. So for example, with the clients that we work with in the recruitment space, a lot of the clients that our clients are reaching out to, they've got a gap in their team, they need to hire someone to fill something, and it's a headache for them. So rather than emailing them saying we can help you with recruitment, present them with a candidate which would help them with the open role or the vacancy that they have. Straight away the person is like, cool, that's a tangible offer, as opposed to theoretically we could help you with this. So always just kind of lead with something that, and also so it answers the question, what do I get? Remove the risk. So the biggest objection to any cold email is essentially, why should I trust you? So you've got to remember, a cold email is typically the first port of call with this person. They don't know who you are. They don't know about your company. They basically don't know anything which would give them a reason to trust you. So if you can give them a reason to say yes or reduce the risk for them. So essentially, first of all, with your call to action, the less commitment you ask for from, the easier it is to say yes. So rather than saying, can we jump on a call or something like that, it's like, could I send you over more information, or could I send you an example? Just give them an easy opportunity to say yes. Another thing you can do with that as well, which we cover inside the school group too, is a risk reversal guarantee. So for example, with our offer, if the system doesn't pay itself off within 90 days, we'll give you a full refund. So they know that there's no risk really of them losing any money. They either get good results and get new clients, or they get their money back and there's no harm done and they're exactly where they were. Again, one clear ask, multiple call to actions dilute everything. So if, for example, you say, could we hop on a call, or could I send more information? Just pick one and make sure that it's easy to say yes or no to. If, for example, the recipient has to go away and think, you've already lost them. The likelihood is, if they're busy, they'll be like, oh, I haven't got time to think about this, I'll come back to it later. They'll forget and they never come back to you. So just make it easy for them to respond to, so they could just ping you a one-word answer, and then you can then sort of move the conversation forward from there. Keep it under 80 words. So Instantly, again, released their email benchmark report in January, and they found from analyzing millions of emails sent through their platform, the elite senders are basically sending less than 80 words per email. So every word must earn its place. Keep it as long as it needs to be, as short as it can be. So get to the point, but make sure as well you are also providing context, so it isn't just sort of a couple lines which make no sense. And then finally, make it sound like a person, not a company. So using like industry lingo or making it sound overly complex, and make it sound like marketing, make it sound like you're being clever, make it sound like you're trying to trick them, like you're talking to a friend, like you're explaining it to someone at a pub. Just keep it casual. Alex Hormozy touched on this when he revamped their email marketing. A key thing that they do is I think he said he reduced the level of English in their emails to a 6th grade reading level, so that it was impossible for someone who read that to not understand what they're saying. When they did that, they got a spike in positive replies, purely because before people were like, I don't really know what this is. And now it's like, oh, it's pretty obvious what that is. I want that. Let's have a chat. The next thing, so what a weak offer looks like versus what a strong offer looks like. So for example, it can be too vague versus a specific outcome with a time frame. So we help businesses grow their revenue through cold email outreach is a bad example. We help recruitment agencies book 5+ meetings a month with new clients using a cold email system that pays for itself in 30 days. So as you can see from this, you know exactly who they help, you know what the outcome is, and you can see there's a risk reversal guarantee. The seller focused ask first, buyer focused ask. So I'd love to jump on a call to tell you more about what we do. Again, that's focusing on what you want. What do they want? Would it be worth 15 minutes this week to see if this could work for your business? Again, it's asking them if this is essentially of interest, and also qualifying them at the same time. Generic claim versus specific proof. So we specialize in outbound lead generation, have helped many companies. Again, extremely vague, and you don't really know what that means. Where on the other side, every client we've worked with has generated enough new business within 30 days to cover their investment. So again, specific time frame, specific outcome. So why broad lists fail and how to fix it. So sending to everyone means your message is relevant to no one, and the broader your list, the weaker your reply rate. So generic copy by default. So when it's broad, you can't really talk about anything specific about their role, their pain points, their industry, problems they're likely to have. So it'll read like a mass send because essentially that's what it is. And you'll notice by doing that as well, you'll get an overwhelming amount of negative responses, people coming back to you saying take me off your list, unsubscribe, don't contact me again, because it feels like you've just spammed them with essentially a spam email. If you're reaching out to the wrong decision makers, again, if it isn't targeted, it isn't then relevant. So again, why would they respond to you if you aren't referencing anything specific to them? Again, why would they come back to you? And as you can see in there as well, if they have no authority to buy from you, you're not only wasting their time, you're also wasting your own time. There's no point emailing people who have no chance of ever basically giving you any money, if that is the purpose of the emails that you're sending. Higher bounce rate. So if you're, again, sending to a broad list and it isn't verified, you'll get higher bounce rates. In the tools that we've tested, for example, Instantly, Smartlead, Lemlist, they will also tend to auto pause your campaign to stop you like absolutely annihilating your domain reputation. So yeah, the key here is make sure you verify before you start sending. And then lower deliverability. So the more spam complaints you get from the relevant emails, each one then start to chip away at your sender score, so that will push you closer to spam folders. Again, complete redundant if the goal is to get replies and win business if no one is actually seeing your offer. So how to niche down your outbound targeting. So again, the more specific you can be, the better the results will be. So step one, the first thing I would think if you have an existing business with a client base is start with who have you already helped. So who are your best existing clients? What sector were they in? What was their company size? What job title made the buying decision? It may be a case they're a solo person, so they're the sole decision maker. And then that profile is then your ICP, which means ideal client profile. Number two, pick one niche to go after first. So don't try, like for example, a mistake we made is thinking, oh, we can help anyone with this. But if you try help anyone with this, you end up helping no one, because like I said in the prior step, if the message could apply to anyone, it applies to no one. So master that niche, get results, get testimonials, then expand rather than try and do everything at once. And then trying to go after multiple niches as well means you also get mediocre results. And one of the key reasons for that as well is that if you master one niche, you can then start to build out a repeatable process which works across all the clients, where if, for example, you get results with one client in one niche and then one client in the other niche, chances are there you're not entirely sure why it worked across both, and then it becomes less repeatable, which will cause you more problems and headaches as you try to scale the business and add more clients. Get specific on job title and company size. So again, targeting business owners or decision makers, you need to know where are they based, what industry do they work in, what is the niche, what is their headcount, what sector. Once you have all of that information, again, you can start to then frame the messaging. You can also use tools like ChatGPT or Claude to do some in-depth research into pain points they're likely to be facing and frame your emails around that as well. Build the list around that specific person. So once you know exactly who you're targeting, use Apollo or Lusher or Clay or any of the tools that you already have. Verify every lead first. Like I said, use Million Verifier or Zero Bounds. Have a smaller, cleaner, targeted list, and this you'll see a massive increase in performance compared to having sort of a generic, broad, unverified list. And then finally, write your copy that speaks directly to that person. So think from their perspective. What is it that they want to see? What would make their life easier? What would help them with their business? Do that, make it as simple as possible to understand and make the ask clear. Like I said, one call to action. Don't give them a list of options like a menu. Just say, would it help if I did this? Or would you like this? Yes or no? That's all you need to do. And then basically, once you've done that, the niche down formula, you just need to tick off each box essentially. So who is the specific job title that makes the buying decision? Where are they based? What is their company size? And then on the what is the outcome that you deliver? So can you give them something tangible? For example, 5+ new client meetings per month within 30 days. Again, it doesn't have to be as specific as that. You don't even also have to overpromise if you haven't delivered it before. Just give them something where it's like, cool, I can see what this is, and then that will also then help them understand the level of risk by replying to you. And then why should they work with you? Do you have any case studies? Do you have any social proof? Do you have a brochure? Like anything like that. You could even have that as a call to action. Like, would you like me to send over more information about other results we've delivered to similar clients to you? And again, someone's likely to be like, oh, if this client, for example, is making an extra £10,000 a month, I'd be interested in seeing how they're doing that. So again, just make sure you're ticking off all these boxes, and then that will essentially get everything shaped for what you need. And then in terms of that as well, so we have more information inside our community as well. So we go more in depth on these topics. We run sort of weekly webinars and that kind of stuff, helping our members essentially get up to speed with cold email, make sure they're getting results. And also once we learn something new as well, we share that with the group. So again, just saves you a job. So check out that, click on the link, and yeah, see you in that.